Hello, my dear students. As we already started with the model 4, it is that is substation. In the previous session, we already discussed about the introductory part on the substation and the few equipments also we have discussed. In today's session, we'll discuss on these equipments. The first one, it is high voltage disconnecting switches, lightning arresters, high voltage insulators and conductors, voltage regulators and storage batteries, reactors, capacitors, and finally one it is measuring instruments. So these are the contents we'll see in today's session. The first one it is which component or the equipment, the high voltage disconnecting switch it is. So this disconnecting switch, disconnecting means what? It is separating from one circuit to the another circuit it is. So disconnecting switches, these are rapidly disconnects the circuit from the power supply in case of what? Any emergency work is there. In order to carry out the emergency work, if any repair work it is there or any maintenance work is there, means in that case the switches are going to be used to disconnect the circuit from the power supplies it is. So or else these disconnecting switches are also, we call it as a isolator switch, that is used to ensure an electric circuit it is going to be completely gets de-energized for the purpose of what? Service or any maintenance work in the event of the emergency it is. So these kinds of switches can also be operated either manually or automatically it is. So one more thing it is, so we are having here disconnecting switches. These are also going to be function along with the circuit breaker it is. The circuit breaker, what is the basic function of the circuit breaker? It is also trip the circuit whenever the fault it is going to be occurs and it is going to be disconnect, or it is once it is going to be trip means it will separates the faulty from the rest of the healthy system it is there. Then this function it is also similar to that of the disconnecting switch. Then what is the necessity of using both in the case of the substations? Is it right? So the disconnecting switch, this is also be used in conjunction or it is along with the circuit breaker. Why? In the sense that usually we are going to be make use of a circuit breakers. The circuit breakers always trip the circuit, but the open contacts of the breaker cannot be visible physically. Whatever we are going to do, the circuit breakers can always used for tripping the circuit, but the contacts, opening of the contacts as well as the closing of the contacts, but the open contacts of the breakers cannot be visible physically from outside the breaker itself. If it is not visible to us, means that is why it is recommended not to touch an electrical circuit just by switching off the circuit breakers, because the contacts, whether it is a closed or open, we can't come to know physically. It is not visible to us. That is the reason we can't able to touch the electric circuit just by switching off the circuit breaker it is. So that is the reason what they are going to do. So for better safety, there must be some arrangement so that one can see the open condition of the sections of the circuit before touching it. So this switch, the isolator, it is nothing but a mechanical switch it is, so which isolates or separates a part of the circuit from the system as and when it is going to be required for the safer maintenance work it is. So nothing but what? In the breaker, circuit breaker, the open contacts of the breaker we can't come to know easily. The physically it is not visible to us. So based on that, whether if somebody says the circuit breaker contact it is open, so we can touch it and we can carry out the maintenance work, but we can't. It is not safer sides. That is the reason. So for the better safety, there must be some arrangement. So this disconnecting switch it is going to be used here. But if we make use of this disconnecting switch, means one can able to see the open conditions of the sections of the circuit, whether it is a open or the closed it is. So we can see it physically, so that without any fear we can touch that circuit and we can carry out our maintenance work it is. That is the reason. So the circuit breakers are also be used along with the disconnecting switches it is. Getting my point? And one more thing it is, these isolators are used to open the circuit under no load condition. Getting my point? Under no load condition only these isolators or the disconnecting switches are to be used, are to be kept open circuited under no load condition it is. So one more thing it is, these isolators are generally used on both the ends of the circuit breakers, so that repair or any replacement of the circuit breaker can be done without any dangerous. Getting my point? So that is the reason. So depending upon the position of this in the power system or the substation, the isolators can be categorized as the three types it is there. One, it is bus side isolator, second one it is line side isolator, and third one it is transfer bus isolator. So this is bus side isolator in the sense that the isolator, it is directly connected with the main bus itself. Main bus, it is nothing but it will carry the whole information, the voltage it will be carrying through this bus itself. And line side isolator, it is nothing but the isolator, it is going to be situated at one side of the feeder here. Here bus side isolator means what? The isolator, it is directly connected with the main bus here. Line side isolator means the isolator, it is situated at a line side of any feeders it is. Feeder, it is nothing but the consumers itself. Getting? The transfer bus isolator means the isolator, it is directly connected with the transfer bus it is. So that is the reason. So this isolator switches, either it is in a horizontal configuration or in a vertical design itself. Up to 800 kV we can design it in a horizontal as well as the vertical designing of this disconnecting switch, it is going to be done here. So this is all about what? High voltage disconnecting switches. So next we'll move on to lightning arrestor it is. So lightning arrestor, it is a very important equipment in a substation it is there. So lightning arrestors, because see here, the substation equipments and so many there, such as a conductors it is there, transformers it is there, and one more thing it is what relays will be there, circuit breakers will be there, etc. So are always erected outdoor, it is nothing but exposed to the atmosphere it is. So that is the reason whenever the lightning surges occurs, then what will happen? High voltage, it is going to be passed through these electrical components and causes completely damage to them. That is the reason, in order to avoid this damage, what they are going to do, so these lightning arrestors are going to be installed at the transmission lines itself. So these lightning arrestors are completely are nothing but completely what they are going to do, to pass the entire lightning surges to the earth it is. Getting my point? The lightning arrestor, it is nothing but a one kind of a device used on an electrical power system to protect the insulation as well as the conductors of the system from damaging effects of the lightning it is. Getting my point? So see here, the lightning arrestors, we are going to be used for the damaging effect from the lightning. In order to avoid that, if we are making use of this lightning arrestors, basically means what is lightning? Lightning, it is nothing but a naturally occurring electrostatic discharge it is. So typically this lightning arrestors will be having the two terminals itself. So this will be the high voltage terminal, and the below will be the ground terminal will be there. So what will happen when the lightning surge, it is going to be occurs, means this lightning surge, it is going to be diverts, whatever this lightning arrestor, what it is going to do, it diverts the current from that surge completely to the earth or to the ground itself. So that what will happen, the further connected equipment such as the conductors or the transformers or a relays, circuit breakers, so they should not get damaged. So this high voltage which is coming from the lightning, so the lightning, it is going to be completely discharged or it is diverted to the arrested to the earth itself. So that is the reason this protective device, it is going to be used in the substations it is. I hope this is clear. So next we'll move on to high voltage insulators and conductors itself. So high voltage insulators means what? Electrical insulator. It is obviously, being a electrical engineering students, everyone will be having basics about this one. What is insulators and conductors? Insulators means what? It will not allow the flow of the electrical charges. Is it right? So that is the reason we make use of just for the sake of the safety. We are making use of different kinds of insulators here. So these insulators for high voltage power transmissions usually made up of a material such as so either it is made up of a non-conducting materials, either it is a glass or a porcelain or any kind of a ceramic. So these are the materials which we are going to be used it for the manufacturing of what insulators it is. So we have a different kinds of insulators here. So these are the four types of insulators. So very important in case of a transmission lines, we are going to be comes into picture. So the first one, it is pin type insulators. Second one, it is suspension type insulator. Third one, it is train insulator, and fourth one, it is shackle insulator. The first one, it is in pin type insulator. Pin type insulator means what? So this is the figure of a pin type insulators here. So these pin type insulators are the earliest developed overhead insulators, but still it is going to be commonly used in a power system networks up to what, 33 kV voltages. Getting my point? So these are the pin type insulators. They are going to be used in a power system network up to how much voltage? That is 33 kV. In a higher voltage systems like what, above the 33 kV and 66 kV, the manufacturing of one part of this porcelain pin insulator, it becomes more difficult here. As the voltage it is going to be increases, because of the highest voltage, as the voltage increases means what will happen, the thickness of the insulating material what we are going to be used, that is also be gets increases. Is it right? Thicker the insulator must be provided to sufficient insulation. Then what will happen, a very thick single piece porcelain insulator is not practical to manufacture. It is nothing but the more the thickness, then what will happen, there may be a chances of getting breakdown of this kinds of insulator. As the voltage it is going to up to 33 kV, this kind of a pin type insulators it is going to be used. When the voltage it is going to be increases behind, in a high voltage beyond 33 kV, it becomes more uneconomical to use the pin type insulators. Why it is so? In the sense that because size weight of insulators become size also increases, weight of the insulators becomes more. That is the reason handling as well as the replacing it is going to be quite difficult task it is. So in order to overcome these difficulties, so next thing it is, the instead of this pin insulators, suspension type insulator it is going to be developed. So see here, the suspension type insulator means, so this is the figure of a suspension type insulators here. So we can see the disc shape. These are the insulators, different disc shape insulators we are going to be connected here. So this is nothing but the transmission line here, nothing but the line, it is nothing but the conductor. So here the number of insulators, nothing but a disc shape insulators, are connected in series manner, are connected in a series by the metal links. That is going to be, to call it as a string. It is nothing but in a string manner, the number of insulators are connected in a series manner with the help of a in between metal links are going to be used here. So these discs are made up of a material, nothing but a porcelain it is. So next thing it is, this line conductor, it is going to be carried by the bottom insulator. It is, this line conductor will be carried by the bottom insulator. So that is the reason the suspension type insulators are going to be, when the voltage it is going to be exceeds more than 33 kV means we can use this kind of a suspension type insulator. See here, nothing it is there in this, the number of insulators are connected in which manner, series manner, to form a series manner with the help of the metal links, that is going to be call it as a strings itself. So these insulators will be in the form of a disc shape. So these discs are made up of a which kind of a material, that is porcelain here. Next finally, this line conductor, it is going to be carried by the bottommost insulator. It is getting my point. So next thing it is, next one more insulator, that is strain insulator. It is there, third one, strain insulator. Strain insulators means the line insulator, this is also line insulator, that is designed to work in a mechanical, tension or a strain or a stress, it is going to be. So these kinds of insulator can be able to withstand the full of a suspended electrical wires. So these are the electrical wires or the transmission lines will be there. On the transmission lines, these strain insulators are going to be fixed at both the ends itself. So these insulators should be capable of withstanding the full of suspended electrical wire or the cable it is. That is the reason a strain insulator must have a considerable mechanical strength as well as the necessary electrical insulating properties. These are the strain insulators we are going to be used just for the sake of what? In order to designed to work in a mechanical tension to withstand the full of the suspended electrical wire or a cable it is. So next, which one it is there? Shackle insulator. Shackle insulator, it is nothing but, so they are used to design the they are designed to support the lower voltages. Designed to support what? Lower voltages which are occurs in the distribution network here. So it can be used in a both horizontal as well as the vertical positions itself. So this is the Shackle type insulators, mainly used or designed to support which kind of voltages? Lower voltages in a distribution network itself. So these Shackle insulators can be used both in a horizontal as well as the vertical position. It is getting my point, I hope. So this is the very basic about the insulators, but in depth it is not there for your syllabus. Just we'll see these things. Okay. Next we'll move on to one more thing. It is, so next we are having the conductors itself. So insulator means what? It will restrict the flow of the electrical current, but the conductors means what? The material, that the object obeys the electrical property of a conductance that allows the flow of an electrical charge. It is going to be called it as what? Conductors. It will allow the flow of a electrical charges. It is. So next thing, it is the conductors which carry the electrical power from sending end station to the what? Receiving end stations. The transmission lines are nothing but what? These are the conductors which will carry the electrical power from sending end to the receiving end. It is getting my point. The conductors which are used in a transmission as well as the distribution of electrical power system should have the following properties itself. So what are those properties? It should be, obviously it should be having the highest conductivity as well as the cost of these kinds of materials which we are going to be used for the conducting materials. Those cost should be very less itself. So the most commonly used conducting materials means which are those? One, it is a copper, it is there, aluminum, it is there, steel cord aluminum, galvanized steel, cadmium, copper. So these are the most widely used conducting materials in case of transmission as well as the distribution of electrical powers itself. And these kinds of material should be having the properties such as, and those should be having the highest electrical conductivities as well as the cost should be low. It is. And one more thing what I told here, so these conductors which allow the flow of the electrical current. It is, and it will carry the current from one sending end station to the receiving end. It is. So these are nothing but conductors. Getting. Next, one more important equipment it is, that is voltage regulators itself. So voltage regulators, in the name only it indicates what it is going to do. It regulates the constant voltage. It is nothing but the voltage regulators which are going to be used at the substations as well as the distribution lines itself. For what purpose we are using? In the sense that to maintain the constant voltage level along the entire feeder itself. Automatically it will maintain the constant voltage itself. They are used especially on the extra long distribution feeders itself. The main thing it is that voltage regulators to maintain the constant voltage levels along the feeders itself. Getting my point? So this is the voltage, this is all about voltage regulators. Next, which equipment it is there? Next, to storage batteries it is. So what purpose the storage batteries are required? Storage batteries means, so the storage batteries, the operation as well as the monitoring of the devices, like a relay. It is the relay. It is nothing but what? It is the relay. It is also one kind of a device. It is going to be sense. It will send the information regarding the fault which has been or taken place in the system. It sends the information to the breaker. Thereby breaker, it is going to be tripping mechanism. It is going to be done with the help of the circuit breakers. Is it right? Tripping mechanism, it is going to be done with the help of the breakers and requires, so this tripping mechanism, it requires the independent power source. It is, so this independent power source, it is going to be provided with the help of the batteries, nothing but DC supply which does not vary with the main source, being it is going to be monitored. So that is the reason. So that is the reason what I am told here, the operation of the monitoring devices such as the relays. Relay, it is nothing but a information. It will send the information regarding the fault which has been taken place in the system. By that information, the breaker, it is going to be trips. The tripping mechanism, how it requires the one independent power source that is provided with the help of this storage batteries. So the battery, it is nothing but a DC power source. The batteries provide this power source for the successful operation of switching as well as the controlling devices in a power system protection. Getting my point? So which kind of batteries usually used? In the sense that may be a lead acid batteries or a nickel cadmium batteries, we are going to be use it here. Getting my point? So these are the storage batteries. So next we'll move on to the reactors. It is, So reactors means what? It is nothing but a reactor, it is nothing but a inductive wired, which is usually between power source as well as the load it is. Getting my point? The main function of these reactors, in the sense that these are line reactors, are installed at a substation to help, nothing but it is stabilizes the power system. It is nothing but what? Line reactors are used to stabilize the power system. Suppose if there is a short circuit occurs in a transmission line, then what will happen? This line reactor, it is going to be limits that short circuit current to a safer value, which prevents the connected equipments damaging of this connected equipments. It is going to be completely avoided with the help of this line reactors. It is getting my point. And what it is going to do in case of a short circuit occurs, means that is also one kind of a fault. If it is going to be takes place in the transmission lines, means it limits that short circuit current to a safer value, thereby it will avoid the damage to the connected equipments, like what? A circuit breaker will be there, transformer will be there, relays will be there. So the connected equipments will be at a safer side. It is. Next thing it is, they limit the flow of a short circuit current and thus protect the device from what? Overheating. Nothing but short circuit means inrush of the current will be there. So current, if it is more, means there will the temperature, obviously it is going to be increases. If that in temperature it is going to be increases beyond the limit, means the insulation it is going to be gets failed. It is. That is the reason, in order to limit this, it will these line reactors which will limit the flow of the short circuit current as well as protect the device from the overheating as well as from the failure due to the destructive mechanical forces. It is. So these are the reactors we are going to be used in the transmission lines here. Getting my point? So next we'll move on to the one more important bit. It is capacitor bank. It is. So what purpose capacitor function? It is what basic function of this capacitor is to store the electrical energy itself. Is it right? The basic function of the capacitor is used to store the electrical energy itself. So next thing it is, so this capacitor bank, it is nothing but what? It is a group of capacitors. Nothing but the group of capacitors are there here. So these are the group of the capacitors which are this group of the capacitors will be there. Each capacitor will be having the same rating that are connected in series manner, or it is connected in the parallel manner with each other. What purpose? To store the electrical energy. And one more thing it is to enclose, and it is used for capacitor banks are used for the, there are two important reasons why we are going to be used. First thing, it is for the power factor correction purpose, and one more thing, it is for the basic protection of the substation. It is. Getting my point? So these capacitors are used to control the level of the voltage which is supplied to the consumers. What I am telling here, the capacitors, what they are going to do, it will control the level of voltages which is supplied to the customers or the consumers by reducing what? By reducing or eliminating the voltage drop in the system which is caused by what? Inductive reactive loads. It is. Getting my point? So these capacitors banks are also going to be acts like a source of a reactive powers. Thus the, and one more thing, it is the phase difference between the voltage as well as the current can be reduced by this capacitor bank. It is. Then one more thing, it is they will increase the ripple current capacity of the supply. That is the reason it can be able to avoid the undesirable characteristics in the power system. It is. Getting my point? Keep it in mind. The capacitor bank, capacitor, it is nothing but to store the electrical energy itself. So in the substation, the capacitor bank, it is nothing but it is a group of several capacitors which are having the same rating, and it is connected in series manner, or it is connected in a series manner, or it is connected in a parallel manner. To what purpose? To store the electrical energy. And it is going to be used, these capacitor banks are going to be used for two important function. One, it is power factor correction purpose, and one more, it is the basic function. It is to protect the substation, as well as it will maintain the phase difference between the voltage as well as the current. It is. Getting my point? Next, one more important thing what I told here, the capacitors are going to be used to control the levels of a voltage which are supplied to the consumers. How it is going to be control the levels of the voltage? By reducing or eliminating the voltage drop which are occurs in the system caused by the inductive reactive loads. It is. Getting my point? So this is all about the capacitor banks it is. So next, one more important thing, it is measuring instruments. Measuring instruments means the current transformer as well as the potential transformer, both together it is going to be called it as a instrument transformers it is. So the current transformers means what it is going to do, it is the current transformers, it is a current transformer, it is nothing but it is used for the measurement of the alternating current by taking the samples of the higher currents of the system, and it will measure the value of the current which is flowing in this transmission lines itself. Next thing, it is potential transformers means, potential means voltage it is, just it is quite similar to that of the current transformer, but it is used to take, it is used for measuring the higher voltages by taking what, samples of the high voltages of the system for providing the low voltage to the relays of a protection system, and also the low rating meters for the voltage measurement it is. So these are the CTs and PTs, both together it is going to be called it as the instrument transformers. The basic function of these instruments, it is the current transformer means it is used for measuring the currents in the transmission lines, and the potential transformer, it is nothing but it is used for measuring the voltages by taking the samples of high voltages and measures the how much voltage which is flowing in that particular transmission lines as well as the distribution networks it is. So that is going to be measured with the help of the current potential transformers it is. So this is all about the which are the equipments what we are going to be comes into picture. So these are the equipments we'll see in case of a substations as well as the distribution networks it is. Thank you.